saying you were in the air. Did you know?
He said that's the biggest income producer in this town, and I probably left it out, but he said this is Colorado City, and I'm like, God, you gonna do me like that?
He's one of my best friends, a born hustler, well connected since junior high. He's the author of what I believe will be one of the best sellers on the New York Times. He's a dream home builder and the owner of Mother's Basket in DeSoto. From the streets of DeSoto as a student to a well-respected student of the game turned boss. He's the true story of the phoenix rising from the ashes. He's my partner, author Eric Johnson, and this is The LACEUP with Bennie Green.
What's up, world? This is your man BG, live and alive. I'm here at the LACEUP with Bennie Green, where we just pretty much give you the business. We're here to inspire, we're here to inform, we're here to uplift, and even bigger than that, it's about testimony. I think testimony is really what's pushing the nation. I think that's the reason why you're actually looking at us right now, and I've been privileged to have a seat at a table that's, I believe, is a worldwide issue. So I'm here with none other than one of my best friends, and we are definitely going to lace you guys up. But before we do that, we got some preliminary business to take care of. So with that being said, I got my man Neo here. He's going to do the formalities. I think we got some good cigars. Now, mind you, I don't know much about cigars. Let me be honest with you. I'm not cultured in that.
Me either.
You know what I'm saying? But it's cool and it looks cool, and that's the vibe right now. So I'm gonna have my guy Neo to come in. He has some special cigars for us. He's gonna let us know what the play is on the cigars. We're gonna chop and screw, and then we're gonna get busy. Hey, we here, man.
We here, man. Salute, man. Salute to you.
It's been a long
Congratulations.
time coming, man.
Yeah,
It's been a long time coming. We said the prayer before the issue.
we did.
Got the cognac here, so we'll salute. Uh, I tell you what, is it anything specific that you would want to make a toast to right now?
Yeah, just to success.
To success.
Yeah.
What does success mean?
It's just time freedom.
Right.
You know,
Right.
freedom of time. Make your own rules.
Right.
You know, wake up when you want to, not when an alarm clock wakes you up.
Right.
To me, that's success.
That is success. That's success to me too. I think that's what the lace up is all about. You know, it's about reaching a certain place, getting to a point to where you come together on some things and you celebrate by doing things like smoking these good cigars. So easy. Without further ado, man, I wanna, you know, I've been knowing you for 30 plus years.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's so many details that I could go in, but there's a group of individuals out here who don't quite know your story. So just to give them a little backdrop of you and I, my father, we moved from Oak Cliff. We moved from Oak Cliff to Lancaster. And from Lancaster, my father took me to DeSoto, and I saw a turf field. And it was something I always wanted to play on because I'm a football fanatic. Well, I was anyway. And so we moved to DeSoto, but about the third day we moved to the city, I met two young men, two little skinny fellows. It was right at the point when light skin was just about to. They was on the brink. You know what I'm saying? They were right on the
I'll
brink.
be sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Christopher Williams.
There you
type
go.
guy.
There you go. Because us chocolate brothers, we hadn't run surfers just yet, but we was around the corner. But
Come on now.
I met two gentlemen. One was a guy named Blair. Uh, he looked like one of the guys that was on the Harry Potter boxes, and the other guy was Eric, and they were hooping. And I seen Eric go up and dunk on this guy, and I'm thinking, okay, because I'm an athlete, and I'm thinking this is my kind of guy. But the truth of it was these guys, they were already, you was 6'2" in seventh grade, and the goal was 8 foot. So, you know, I figured I might have a chance at this one.
Right.
But man, I'm looking at us now. We got so much history. We don't even have enough time.
Right.
with everything we've been through, man. But what I want to do is share with the audience and just the world, man, your success story, the switch within. That's why we're here. Uh, I read the book, man, and it made me feel a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel a certain kind of way. I've been seeing the reviews, I've been seeing the posts, I've been seeing the numbers run up. And I'm looking at you now.
Right, right.
And in retrospect, I'm still seeing the young guy I met and knew back then.
Right, right.
Millionaire, polished.
Almost.
Now you can tell the truth. We capping. You ain't got to be modest. We at home. Yeah. But beautiful family, man. But what I want to do, I want to crawl back before the time I met you. There was a time that I didn't know you, and that's what I'm interested in knowing, because obviously the switch is something that's been in you.
Right.
Because when I met you, it didn't take long for me to realize you had genius in so many areas, and this is a true story. We not capping.
Yeah.
So take me back, man. Take me back to who you are, where you come from. I noticed on your book, one of your main dedications was to your parents. So first and foremost, man, let's give it up for them and let's find out who you are and where you from.
Well, my name is Eric Johnson, and I'm from Dallas, Texas, by way of DeSoto, Texas. And my parents, Carl and Darlene Johnson, raised me, and I got an older brother. And I had a good life.
Yeah.
Both of them worked. And I say a good life. I was telling somebody the other day, I remember getting my shoes out of Menard. It used to be connected.
Right.
We was poor, but both of them worked. And as they kept saving their money, things got a little better. So,
right.
We moved to DeSoto early.
Mm-hmm.
And, raised up and, had a good value system taught to me.
Right, right.
They were good Christian people.
Mm-hmm.
Put some core values in me that I carry to this day.
Right, right. Yeah. That's beautiful. Big shouts out to Miss Darlene and Pops. I mean, Pops, when I say, matter of fact, I'm going to say one word. Cheyenne. Cheyenne.
Right.
Tell them about Cheyenne. What we used to do with Cheyenne?
Yeah, we used to take my old man truck every morning.
Before school?
Before school. We would get up and Daddy didn't know, of course, I was driving his
Mr.
truck.
Johnson.
We riding
if he
all
already,
over.
Mr. Johnson, if he hadn't already told you, it's this the leak. But yeah, we enjoy Cheyenne. But go ahead, I'm sorry, man.
And so one day, we used to go to Lancaster every morning. Sometimes we go to Kimball, Carter, and we circle back around to go to our school. And so in the evening, we would do the same thing. So one evening, Daddy came home. He told me, "Come outside, boy, and put your hand on that hood." Boy, I put my hand on that hood, and he went to town.
That was it.
That's how he knew.
See, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, that was don't nobody know that part.
Right. Yeah. That's why Cheyenne stopped.
Yeah,
man.
That was in our early, when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful, man. And I mean, we got story after story that we could talk about as far as that, but
yeah.
Before we say one more word, did we already toast? Okay, let's toast, man. Let's toast.
To success.
To success, man.
Success, for sure.
E.
Hey.
You got a hell of a story, man. You got a hell of a story.
Yeah.
I noticed, I want to get to the ugly parts first. I want to get to the part that you clearly
get right to it.
Led in your book said that it was the most uncomfortable part. But for me, it was the part that, I don't know, that people don't want. Everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this was the part that obviously was pre-written.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the big P word.
Prison.
Yeah.
That was like, honestly, bro, that was like my skeleton. that I kept in my closet, you know, and I hid it. And I didn't want nobody to know that I had been because I didn't want to be judged. You know, it's typically like if you say, you know, oh yeah, he been to prison, then people start kind of looking at you like, you know, y'all, you know, lock your stuff up. You know,
Right,
you
right,
might
right.
have a thief in here or
Right.
something. But it wasn't really like that. You know, honestly, the Cliff Notes version is I went to prison, but I wasn't really a bad actor.
Right.
Even though bad actors was in prison, I really was BSing
Right.
with some girls that I knew. I ain't never talked about this, but this is the part where the phoenix come out the ashes. When I went to prison, I had really I thought I was slick.
Right.
I got probation.
Right.
And then I kept messing up on my probation. And then ultimately, I had to go.
You had to go.
Yeah, I had to go that way.
The one incident that you was about to go into it and then you curved off.
Mm-hmm.
I think the part for me that you don't want to talk about may be the most important part for the generation that's watching now.
Okay.
Because for one thing, we didn't want to shame our parents.
Right.
But we're in a generation now where they're not concerned with shaming their parents. They're concerned with being free and being who they are.
Right, right.
What was the incident that led you to prison?
My daddy bought me a Cadillac, 84 Eldorado, clean. You remember it?
I remember the cleanest car.
Clean. It's like
Matter of
somebody's
fact,
mama car.
When I saw, that's what I said when I saw the car. First of all, this is clean too. This car looked like it belonged to my auntie who was older than my daddy.
Right. So my daddy bought me a car, the Cadillac. I'm going to Carter. I'm working at the bank as a teller. My cousin Phil, he got me on as a teller at the credit union on Ross. Teachers. Got a good job. I'm going to Carter, and I met these girls, these two girls. So we used to ride, skip school, sometimes ride, drink. And they was like, you know, let's hit some licks. I was like, okay, shit, let's hit some, you know. So we drove to North Dallas. They'll jump out on people, snatch their purse, get back in. And that was it. That was my crime. I didn't do the robbery, but they labeled it robbery.
Right.
And that's the thing that I had to live with.
Right.
And it was threat to bodily injury because they was like, you know, B word, give me your purse. And so they jumped back in and they would give me the credit card or some of the money or whatever. I'm 18, mind you.
Right.
I go to the Redbird Mall
Redbird.
trying to buy me a herringbone.
A herringbone.
A herringbone necklace, you know, a big one too, with this, not stolen, but out of a robbery.
Right.
Credit card.
Right.
Got jammed. Go to jail for credit card abuse. Get out. Make bond, get out. 2 weeks later, I got stopped by my house and they took me to jail for robbery.
Mm.
And that's when it got real.
And that's when it got real.
That's when it got real.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when my partner, that's when EJ, I got the news that EJ had got sent to prison.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was huge for me. First of all, for one, because I had never had no partner. You know, we talked about and glorified going around the avenues of prison, but I never had no partner, my partner, to go to prison.
Yeah.
And for me, jail is hell.
Yeah, it is.
You know, for a cat that's scared not to go to heaven.
Right.
So that was a traumatic experience for me. And I remember you writing me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a couple of letters you wrote me and you telling me how crazy it was in there. And I reminded you how crazy it was out of here. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, trip you out.
Wow.
I got all of them, but I just you know what I'm saying? I got all of them. Yeah, man. So I'm saying.
Yeah.
Eric Wayne Johnson, 225-874. This was when you was in the Wallace unit,
Mm-hmm.
B201, Colorado City.
Yeah.
I said, ooh, eternal love.
Mm. That's it.
Eternal love.
That was a long time ago.
Hey, man. Hold on. Let me trip you out. I don't even know if there's no date on here. I'm gonna just read out. I'm gonna just read out the first line. How does it go, my brother? I still remain prisoner in this political warehouse. Well, I received your letter in yesterday, and let me see, my eyes going bad. I done got old since the last time I read this. And I must say that I was surprised to hear from you, but I know how life moves, and the pace here is a lot different from out there. I do understand. Ooh. So this must have been the letter after.
Wow.
I'd say it's how
It's
hard
crazy.
it was out here.
This is crazy.
Say, man.
Wow.
Much love from the Panhandle. This was Childress right here.
Mm-hmm. That's the Roach unit.
In your first story, your first personal testimony, talk about God. Talk about an epiphany. Talk about the fact that you went from that at 19 years old. I remember coming to you. We were doing Dallas Millionaires.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to you, and I was like, it's this company called Stream. I was mad in mom too.
Were you? Okay.
I said, this company called Stream. And I told you about it. Of course, we was having house parties and everything and this, that, and the other. And I already knew, like, when the guy came to me with it, I already knew the one person, my ace in the hole, who could make this thing go.
Right.
And you hadn't heard of him yet, but what I didn't know, reading your book again, somebody else had introduced it to you right afterwards. So, mind you, I go to my best friend. We got the Dallas Millionaires going. It was something we put together, and it ended up spreading, and we ended up doing different things. And I came to him and I was telling E about this company called Stream. Well, when I introduced him at the time, he wasn't really on it. About a month later, I come back. You own it.
Yeah.
Guy from your job introduced you.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, man.
What's crazy is I don't remember you telling me about it.
Uh-huh.
And I know you did, but it's like sometimes you can hear something, but you're not listening.
Right.
And so I might have heard it, but life was moving fast. And I wasn't trying to hear it when the guy at my job was telling me about it.
Right.
You know, guy named Reggie.
Right.
You know,
right.
Shout out Reggie. Reggie was short. He was about 4 feet tall with a GT2 turbo Porsche.
Right.
With some golf clubs in the back. And when I first met him, I didn't like him. And
right.
I ain't had no reason. I was just like, I don't like his little short self, you know, whatever.
Right.
But, you know, Reggie turned out to be a real solid guy. And he kept telling me about this little energy company. And I was like, bro, I'm not interested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not interested. No. Hell no.
Right.
I don't want to do it, bro.
Right.
So one day he tricked me. He called me in his office. I was his boss, mind you. He worked for me, but he was the top guy. Reggie fucking have 8 people lined up on Saturday buying cars.
Right.
He was good salesman. Anyway, he was like, hey man, come in my office. I want to show you something. So I went in the office. He showed me a check. And it was from Stream. And I was like, you made that while you working here? And he was like, yeah, it's extra, man. I need you to see. And he went to selling it.
Right.
And so I got in, and he tried to make me, not make me, but put me with another guy that was on his team. Now you gotta let it. That's the key to this.
That's the
Yeah.
okay.
That's
okay.
one of the little etiquettes. You're supposed to let the ash be long. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
it is.
But he stayed on me. I got in it, and I was mashing it.
Right.
I was
I
mashing
know
it.
you
I was telling
mashing.
everybody about it, and it was energy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a product. It wasn't a lotion or soap or body magic. It was like power, you know. And so I became the light man.
Right.
People need energy, electricity in their barbershop, in they wherever, they home, of course, but anywhere. And so I started getting paid a residual income of power through stream.
Now, mind you, I'm seeing this, and I already knew. Like I had a vision of what this was going to become. Next thing I know, I'm seeing you on platforms,
Yeah.
doing what I always knew you could do, and I'm seeing the rise. I'm seeing, okay, he's coming into himself, and then I'm learning too, because we skip some stuff. We skip the streets, and then we skip the whole car salesman thing
Yeah.
too. But you had been mashing the gas.
Well, no, I was doing car sales came after stream. I did those at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I joined stream in 08. I started selling cars in 07. So it was like what and what. I was doing both of them at the same time.
Right.
So
Right.
I got good at presenting the information. And I learned a lot of things about people
Right.
in stream. Because the founder, ironically, is a guy, he worth, well, I ain't gonna say what he's worth, but at the time, stream was worth about $8 billion. But that guy, he never talked about money. He never talked about none of that. I was real intimidated by him at first until I met him. But he always talked about love and people and giving. And that's where I kind of got that servant leader mentality.
Now, speaking of stream,
Yeah.
if we shoot back 19 years, you were in this state penitentiary. I read through the book. Of course, I know these personal testimonies because we talked about them, but tell me what the irony of being somewhere, and I know the times you were in prison, you had to be looking up because that was going to be the only light that you could really find in there, from what I understand.
Yeah.
To look up was all you had in prison. Tell me about the irony of you becoming a part of something. And not only becoming a part of something, but becoming a boss.
Right.
To the point to where they felt they needed to put you in a private jet.
Right.
And fly you somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
And lo and behold, not just fly you somewhere.
Yeah.
Break this down for us.
Yeah. So the executives, you know, they get to ride in a private plane with the owner, because the owner he's a licensed pilot. And so I got the call. I had been waiting, you know, I'm like, you know, damn, I hadn't got the call.
Right.
So finally got the call that I'm gonna be flying out to West Texas with the owner. And so I'm elated. I'm telling my old lady, we both excited. It's like, you know, this is the moment, you know. I get to ride in a private jet with the owner of an $8 billion company. So it was a big deal to us. And so, quick story, when we get to the airport, Addison Airport, the owner is there. He in the, you know, his personal vehicle. We walk to a hangar. He opens the door and damn near started like a lawnmower. At least that's how it looked. It was definitely a pull string. Got it kind of like bicycle handlebars, and pulled the plane out the hangar.
Wow.
Himself, pulled it around, filled it up with gas. Mind you, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life.
What was this when we was doing rap videos?
Type shit, right? So, put gas in it himself.
Right.
We take off. Bam.
Wow.
craziest ride ever. It was like the worst roller coaster ever. I'm like, what? And you know what I done got myself into, but it was a Cessna, a twin Cessna jet. He the pilot. He real detailed, you know, business minded, you know, real smart. You got to have a dictionary when he talk.
Right.
Type guy.
Right.
So anyway, we fly to the meeting in West Texas, do the meeting. On the way there were some other executives that sat up front. Well, on the way back, I got to sit up front.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. You know, I'm gonna you know, listen in on the answers.
Right.
You know, try to do what you're doing today, kind of like interview him.
Right.
So he was real cool. You know, this guy is real cool guy. He called me saying happy birthday. He worth $3 billion.
Wow.
Still take time out to call and you know, saying happy birthday, check on you. Just a real genuine guy.
Right.
So on the way back, he was like, Eric, you know, look to the right. You see that light over there? That's the biggest producer of income in this region. It's the state penitentiary. And what he didn't know, and he won't know until this come out, is that I had been in that same prison in Colorado City. In Colorado City, I had been in that same prison when I was 18
Did
years
you
old.
know where you were at the time?
And I said, yeah, I knew Colorado City because I've been in Colorado City.
I'm saying you were in the air. Did you know?
He said that's the biggest income producer in this town. And I probably left it out, but he said, this is Colorado City. And I'm like, God, you gonna do me like that? You mean to tell me I was in this prison X amount of years ago, loser, family like, oh, this boy is a loser. Black sheep of the family. Nobody in my family been to prison. So this was a big deal.
Wow.
But how God worked and what's the purpose of this book is that it was kind of like you said when we first started talking, it was evolution. It was full circle. I was like, God, you're going to fly me over a prison that I used to be in with a billionaire. And it just changed my life. It was, you know, I already wrote the book and I'm talking about the switch, but the 2.0 version is going to be, there's multiple switches. You know, when I was 10 years old playing football, coach got in my face, ticked me off. I fired off the line crying. That was a switch, but you can be great. Check this out. You can be great. Like you can be in the NBA, right? But you're not LeBron.
Okay.
How do you obtain greatness on top of greatness? How do you stretch yourself a so-called point that says, I've made it.
Right.
I'm here. I've arrived type moment. So when I was flying over that prison, I felt like I had arrived because I had been in that prison.
Wow.
And God had blown my mind my whole life.
Wow. Wow. It's it's amazing, man. Even just being in the presence of billionaires, God is just he makes room for your gift.
Come on now.
Me too, man. I've been in the presence of billionaires now. I've been able to sit at tables simply by recognizing the switch, activating the switch, and then being relentless behind the switch.
Let me say this. You play football, right? I saw you play football. You were what they call a punishing runner. So how can I tie that in with the switch? When the quarterback handed you the ball, you had the choice to be elusive, like your brother, Adrian. Super elusive. Big A, what up?
Big shout out to Big A.
Yeah. Super elusive.
Running back to come through DeSoto.
Or you can make the decision to run over somebody, to punish them,
right,
to be aggressive. It was a switch within you that said, I'm going to hit you, and I'm running the ball, but I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to run you over, step on you. You know, and I might not get but 5 yards. I don't need a touchdown. I just need to run you over.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's wonderful, man. So if we jump to, of course, I'm page for page. I was in really page 54, to be honest with you, chapter 8. Butterflies. Speaking about butterflies in your stomach.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you really brought to light in that chapter was the 5 P's.
Yeah.
Can you break the 5 P's down to the people?
Yeah. The 5 P's is proper preparation, prevents a poor performance. That's something I live by.
That's something. So how is that applied to the switch?
Well, there's a saying that says the opportunity of a lifetime have to be seized during the lifetime of the opportunity.
Wow.
Doors and windows are always opening and closing.
Right.
So if you're not prepared, the 5 P's just basically talks about being prepared for an opportunity. I mean, we on set today, there's a trainer and a trainee. But I asked God for the trainee to become a trainer.
Wow. Okay.
You hear me?
Okay.
And it may not be now. It may not be 5 years from now, but one day she'll be doing the training.
Yeah.
And so that's how the switch is applicable in that capacity.
I'm glad you said doors closed, because at the end of the day, we're here now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the jewelry. I know what's outside. I know what's on the backside of town. We ain't gonna name where you live and how many acres you living on, but it didn't come easy, and nobody ever wants to talk about the losses.
Right. That's what I want to talk about.
Nobody wants to talk about it but you.
Right. I want to talk about it
But
because that's what develops you. You know, character is developed during a storm.
Right.
Anybody can be happy and cool when you got a pocket full of money. But how are you when you broke and your kids are hungry?
Tell me about a loss. Tell me about something that happened to you, E. Because see, even in reading this book, E, we were kids, man.
Yeah.
And I had a child before everybody had a child.
You
I was
did.
the first one
You
in
did.
DeSoto besides Tyrone Betters to have a child.
Right. You did. You did.
But when I read your story, you were this comical guy. E. You were the one who made people laugh. Me and Anthony were talking earlier on the phone.
Right.
And he was saying how me and B. White, we
What
could
up,
shut
Ant?
a party down.
Yeah, B. White.
We killing them on the scoring.
Yeah.
But then it was one cat who I always came around, who me and Bill lighted up, but this was the one cat we had the tag team on, and that was you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember you told me I look like 40 black crows. Say, man, you told Chubb he was gonna win he was gonna go to the Olympics for thumping.
I did.
So,
I did.
Yeah, so it was stupid shit like that we used to have fun with, man. But I said all that to say, man, we're here now. So if we go to page 91, because I'm very detailed. And I'm saying these pages because I need people to understand what's in this book.
Okay.
And it's and at the end of the day, it's gonna take you really wanting to step outside your comfort zone and want more than what you have. Because at the end of the day, what I realize about everybody is we all want more at every level. We all want more. It never stops. We were created and built that way. So even going to page 91, chapter 14, it talks about too many irons in the fire.
Yeah.
I remember so many people telling me, man, just focus.
Yeah.
You know, stop with as much as I could do.
Right.
It didn't. I was how they call it, a master,
jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Master of none.
Yeah.
And that's what I was. And to not have the discipline to focus on one thing is a handicap whenever you're trying to do something. So let's talk about that particular chapter and what you meant by too many irons in the fire.
Just doing too much. I almost named that chapter "Doing Too Much."
Okay.
Because some people are, they're doing a lot, and
right.
I'm one of them. I always have a lot going on, but basically, I'm trying to let people know to prioritize. Because sometimes, let's say you got 2 jobs and you're going to school. Well, you might have the opportunity of a lifetime while we're talking about it, but you're too tired or too consumed to even consider it because you're so busy.
Right.
In my case, it was I had a building. I have the restaurant now, But
Don't
before
get
the
in it.
restaurant, now I had a building I thought was going to be the restaurant, the original Basket,
Right.
and it failed.
Right.
And I had a lot of pride involved in that deal. I lost a lot of money trying to make myself believe it was going to work.
Right.
And 2 years of rent and water and gas, and hell, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah, so that's what the too many irons in the fire chapter is letting people know to prioritize your life.
Right.
You know, maybe you only need one good job and school.
Right.
Because I get going to school, but I know a lot of people with a lot of degrees that are broke.
Right. 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 That's awesome. Man, speaking of Mother's Basket,
Mm-hmm.
you went from a student of DeSoto to a business owner.
Right.
In DeSoto. Mother's Basket. Big shout out to Mother's Basket, the premier, the
Kiwi.
best soul food spot in DeSoto, period. Matter of fact, around the area. So big shout out to my sister, Kiwi. Four Flats,
love you, baby.
AKA Four Flats.
Yeah.
But before we go back to Mother's Basket, because I want to get into how that came up, let me give a big shout out to what I consider and what I call the Eagle City All-Stars. And one person that I really want to give credit to as the founder, the foundational piece of my peer group, even Eric, you brought this to my attention as well. You really the one who laid it flat
last night.
Because it's factual.
Yeah.
It has to be done. So first of all, huge shout out to Mark Freeloader.
Freeloader.
Yeah,
Freeloader.
Freeloader was the one who set the tone for us as young entrepreneurs. He had a barbershop, and he had everybody that worked for him became their own boss. Big shouts out to my barber, who's been my barber for 30 plus years, Greg Johnson.
Yeah, Greg. Shout out Greg.
Shout out to Big D Brad, who branched out.
Ingrid and Danielle. Yeah.
Big shouts out. So this Eagle City All-Star thing, big shouts out to my guy sitting behind the camera, JD, one of the coldest receivers
ever that came through
and
DeSoto.
baddest actors to come through DeSoto.
Hey, freeze real quick. You remember we used to score drawing?
Right. Oh, I know. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it. I'm just saying, JD.
Come on with it.
Classic scoring, man.
Come on, man.
JD, it was a sign in DeSoto, and I ain't gonna go into it, but it was a sign in DeSoto that said, "Do not congregate in this area." And that's the damn area we congregated in.
That's the area we congregated.
JD was one of them legendary brothers. Him and Carlos Kawame.
Yeah.
Jimmy Pierce and Wood and all them kind of brothers.
Yeah.
Much love, JD.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, much love.
So man, we DeSoto, long live DeSoto, Eagle City All-Star. We ain't got time. Let's get to chapter 15.
Okay.
Strong why? The most important chapter of the book. The reason
I wrote the book.
The reason you wrote the book. Now, before we go into the reason you wrote the book, as it concerns the why, what happened that made you say, my kids won't ever be in this situation again?
Yeah.
My wife won't ever be in this situation again. I really am a grown ass man.
Yeah.
And this shit is real life.
Yeah.
What happened, E? What happened?
It was just a moment that I was tired. I got sick and tired of begging and asking my mama for $20.
$20
and $50, and she kept slipping me money, and my dad is like, "They let that boy be a man, and he don't need it." She steady was slipping them 20. But one time, mama said, "Baby, you need to quit begging and make people hate you." And that broke me up. Man.
Your mama,
my mother that loves me.
I know, don't nobody
Yeah.
love you more
Love you, mama.
than her.
Yeah.
Besides Keita and them kids now.
And so that was the moment that was the beginning of understanding I had to hold my own. You know, I had to be in a position to provide for my family. You know, it was another moment where my wife uncle told me, he said, you know, boy, you're gonna have to get a lawnmower or something. You're gonna have to do something. You got these kids in here, man.
Right.
And that was another moment. And so what I got addicted to, excuse me, what I got addicted to was seeing my name on a check.
Right.
Like pay to the order of.
Right.
That turned me on.
That was
so, you know, I worked, man. I started working and trying to have something.
And I remember, I was there with you. I remember the time you went from this playful, silly, funny, the scoring king.
I'm still the scoring king.
Still the scoring king.
I want to do a show. I'm going to drop that right now. I want to do a show called Tear Your Ass Up.
Tear Your Ass Up.
And it's about scoring.
Wow.
And it can be from, I don't want to score. I really want to be in the championship rounds, you know, but I want comedians to come and score on. It could be current events. It could be each other. It could be whatever. But I always, you know, I'm still the scoring champ.
Still the scoring. Ain't nothing changed.
Still. I tear your ass up right now. Nah, but I ain't going to do it.
Well, you could.
Nah,
you
I'm
know,
just talking.
oh, man, we went head to head.
We did.
We went, you know, I thought I wasn't. But like I said, like Anthony said, we was on the phone earlier.
Yeah.
Couldn't nobody really fuck with me because I had so much confidence that when I was a kid. And I hear stories about me, what I used to say and do to people now that it just makes me cringe. But I had so much confidence. But like Ant said, it took two niggas to get at you.
Yeah.
It took two of us to get at you. Listen, man, I want to talk about this part. I noticed that you had given a lot of people, you showed a lot of people some love. You know, I've been in love with you for a long time.
Right.
Page 118.
Yeah.
That was very special to me. Just even with everything you've been doing, with all the time that has passed, with all the success that you have had and are having and is in front of you.
Yeah.
You mentioned your boy. And what was even more special to me, and when I say he mentioned his boy, he mentioned me. What was even more special to me, it was towards the end of the book. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was a testament to me that the way I feel about you, you feel about me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I want to appreciate you. And not only that, man, but you've inspired me. You know, I've always wanted to be an author, but you know what's great about real friends is that I always knew. See, you were smarter than me. You've always been. Man. No. It's great to have friends that are smarter than you.
Right.
Even when you pulled the Easy E on the Greenleaf Entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, we look at Ice Cube was smart enough to say, I want to do it this way, and he separated himself. Mind you, I'm going off on that Greenleaf Entertainment. I'm going off of the nostalgia of the role and the CEO and this, that. But you thinking about publishing and BMI and this and all that. And you knew that. You didn't make me feel bad about not being that piece. You just understood that piece.
Right.
And I want to say now, as mad as I was at you, E, because I done got mad at a few niggas.
Yeah.
Because I was hurt.
Right.
But I was hurt due to ignorance. What I want to say now, man, is I'm so grateful you taught me a lesson. Like, I learned so much from you in the most positive way.
Right.
And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, you taught me how to be a businessman. Not just look like a businessman.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Not just act like a businessman or be the face of what you taught me how to be a businessman.
Wow. Wow. I appreciate that.
Aside of my father, my peers, it was you.
Your dad taught me. Big G was the first cat I ever seen with 3 business checkbooks. And I was like, damn, Big G got a Benz, a Sterling, a BMW. He stayed in the latest, and you know the story with Green.
Man,
and it's like, I looked at Green and I saw how to run a business.
Yeah.
And when I came home, Green gave me a job when no one would hire me. You feel me? And so, that's kind of like big to me. You know, I look at your pops and Mama Rose and even Mama Faye as my parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how we were with one another parents.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's huge, man. That's huge. Well, listen, man, whether it's EJ, whether it's Dallas Gold, whether it's, you know, the real estate guru, because what y'all don't know now, the man is building homes now. And I ain't talking shacks. I'm talking beautiful homes. How did you get into that, E?
It was a friend of mine that always told me I need to get into real estate.
Right.
And so I'm entrenched in the car business. Doing good, man. I was making 6 figures. Able to take care of my family. You know, God has blessed me with favor my whole life. Just different little things. So in the car business, my favor was I was the #1 guy.
Right.
In my department. You know, I became, salesman of the month every month, salesman of the year, the month. You know, the year I quit the car business, I was salesman of the year. And that's what this book is all about. It's about, I was at a pivotal moment in my life, stuck in a comfort zone of being the man. You know my story. I was the man at my job. I sold the most cars. I talked the most shit. I was making the most money. I was showing them little young guys my pay stubs. I was like, hey, man, what you make? Youngster, come here. What you make this week? And they'll tell you, they like, man, Eric, he the only one up here showing his checks. And that's because my checks was thousands of dollars.
Right.
And so, the car business was going real good, but I was able to partner on a deal on a brand new house. And so that deal went through and my performance at work was suffering for like 2 or 3 months, but that just turned me on. And so I put the money together. It was crazy how it all came together.
Right.
I had some help.
Details.
Yeah.
We talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
So, put the whole deal together. And that's what started me into real estate. I had never saw that much money at one time. I was making 6 figures, but this was a hefty 5 figures in 4 months. It took me 81 days to build my first house.
Right.
And so I saw that big old bag of money at closing. And I was like, man, I should have been doing this.
Wow.
This is it.
So check this out. They say, with all you've done, man, they say you judge a tree by its fruit.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing with the switch, you've written a book now.
Yeah.
You had a moment where you had to share it with the world.
Right.
But before you share it with the world, just like the word, if you ain't preaching in your own household, what you talking to everybody else for? And you've been that example, man. Every time I go up to Mother's Basket, the restaurant you and your wife own, man, when I walk in, the people who are serving me are your children. The people, when I walk in and I get greeted, it's by one of your kids.
Right.
Matter of fact, Booby is the general manager of your establishment.
Right. Booby the boss.
Booby the boss.
Yeah.
RJ, Kyra.
Yeah.
Blanca.
Yeah.
And the baby.
All of them. Yeah.
Talk to me about these kids, man, one by one. It's starting at the top.
RJ, RJ real creative, musically inclined. cold. Each one of my kids, they switches on, from the oldest to the youngest, and that's primarily because me and my old lady teaching.
Right.
It's like, we teaching them to be better than us. Go-getters and not scared to take them risks. So, RJ doing music. Booby is running the store, running the restaurant.
Say, man.
Yeah. Kyra is my baby girl. She, my firstborn. She's run the front end of the basket. All of the operations type stuff.
Big shout to Kyra.
Yeah, Kyra, the boss.
I went up to Kyra and it was a Lexus parked in the front.
Yeah.
Of course, I already know the story, so I walk in the staff and I say, Kyra. I said, it sure is a pretty Lexus sitting out in the front. You know what she told me? She said, oh, yeah. She said, it belongs to me.
Right.
Oh, she said, guess what, Unc? I say, what? She said, Daddy didn't co-sign.
Right. Yeah. Kyra, that's my baby, man. She's blessed on it, run the restaurant. Money. That's who I trust with the money.
With the money.
Not that I don't trust the other ones, but Kyra, she ain't giving you a catch up too much.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not on purpose.
You know what I'm saying?
Bubba,
3-point king.
Bubba like my right hand. He this kid that understand me. I get on to him and he come right back. He don't get in his feelings and that type of thing. And then the baby, Erica. We call her Michi. Yeah.
Michi.
All the kids, like I said, they had a switch on.
Yeah.
And I think they learned it from me and my old lady.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wonderful, man. I'm so proud of you, man.
I appreciate that.
I'm so proud of you. I take this everywhere I go, E.
Wow.
I know I'm gonna need another copy because I done wasted coffee on it. I done tried it. I done everything. It said to Earl, thank you for being a brother, a mentor, a friend for the last 30 years plus. I ask God to pour out his wisdom of heaven, blessings on you, his eternal message. Matthew 14:22 and 32.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
I'm extremely proud of you.
Yes.
We got work to do, bro.
Absolutely.
I think it's just getting started, and the word clearly tells us that our latter days are our greater days, and so I'm so excited to be moving forward. Big shouts out to my parents, Bennie Senior, Claudia. Big shouts out to my children, the King, Darian, Xavier,
Little D.
Bentley Green. Y'all know to play on Bentley, and my training bro, Reese. I'm so proud of y'all.
Monroe.
I'm again, E. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
I love you, man. I'm so proud of you. And Black Dollar.
Black Dollar.
Lace us up with this Black Dollar.
Black Dollar's just about us spending with us.
Us spending with us.
Yeah, that's what I'm promoting.
No harm in
every other race, Hispanics, they gonna spend with Hispanic.
Right.
Asian gonna spend with Asian.
Right.
Black folk, we want to go spend our money elsewhere.
Right.
We got to spend it with one another.
Tell me this. Okay. Why are we like that? Why do we feel I made a mistake on something I did because I have some other businesses that I do outside of the LACEUP. But I had this woman, man, I made a mistake on something.
Yeah.
And in business, that happens from time to time, right?
Absolutely.
Well, she hit me up and she was like, that's the problem with black businesses, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and so and so. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now, other businesses make mistakes all the time, but why are you so passionate about letting me know I made a mistake? What do you think that is?
I think it's just conditioning, mentally. We go harder on ourselves than we do on others.
Okay.
People come to Mother's Basket while we talking and being real, and they get cold fries, and they'll go to my webpage and leave a bad review.
Wow.
And how many times have you went to McDonald's and got cold fries?
Right.
You throw them in the trash and you complain, but you don't go on their webpage. And I think that's a poison that got to be eradicated. I'm guilty of it too. I go hard on black businesses that I walk in, and You know, it's like, come on, y'all open or what? You
Right,
know,
right.
I want to be served too,
Right,
but
right.
why does Chick-fil-A have to be the model instead of Catfish Floyd? You feel me?
Our true kitchen.
Come on now, True Kitchen is exemplary. Yeah, we had an amazing time in
We
LA
did.
today.
We did.
Yeah.
So listen, this is black people. Y'all stop. I know y'all are holding us to a higher standard. We're holding one another, but what we can't do is stop supporting one another. We all make mistakes.
Right.
That's part of the game. That's part of the learning curve.
Yeah.
You know, we've been beat up bad. So let's get past that part. But if I make a mistake, I understand Benny got a lot going on. I understand Eric got a lot going on. But that doesn't mean we're doing bad business. That just means we got a lot going on. So give us a chance, and we're going to give you a chance. Because I didn't have to give plenty of people chances.
Absolutely.
Just understanding the nature of the business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it is what it is. But man, listen, we're going to shut this down.
Nothing but love, man.
It's a little
Salute
bit
to the
left.
people behind the cameras, you know, running things.
Big
Billy
shouts
Gang. Hey, nothing but love, man.
Billy
Nothing
Gang
but
on point.
love.
Big shouts out to
Real
my boy
professional. Y'all book with them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Billy Gang.
So, with that being said, man,
Yeah.
I want to tell you first and foremost,
One more. Success.
success.
Why not?
I love you, man,
Love you too,
and we
man.
got work to do, brother.
Yeah.
The Switch
That's it.
Within. Y'all got to get this book. It's
Amazon.
amazing. It's a beautiful piece of literature, and it's some real game in the book. So y'all get laced up. Hey, this Benny Green. We out.